Hello and welcome to another wonderful class of astrology for beginners and refreshers with Sue Carberry. And Sue is running a year-long amazing course for free. I mean, what more do you want? Incredible with her incredible experience. And tonight is the last three of the year. So thank you for coming along to the other ones, and do make sure that you're on to the next two as well. So on tonight, I'm your host, Althea Finch. I'm the creator of the Pain-Free method, and how to be pain-free by tuning into you, by going into you, by going into your story. And if you need help on that side of things, you can find out more about that at painfreedom.co.uk. So without further ado, there's so much information that Sue knows. Sue, over to you. Take us into this class.
Hi guys. We had sort of arranged to do a chat discussion of charts for three people in the group, but they're not here. One I know, so I'll get to Tori's chart later on. So what we'll kick off with this time is the really interesting new moon, which is at approximately 25 degrees of Scorpio. And a new moon is where the sun and the moon are together on the same degree of the same sign. A full moon is the same degree in the opposite sign. So we have a new moon in Scorpio. That in itself is interesting. But the most interesting piece is that we have a retrograde Mercury that has come out of Sagittarius, gone back into Scorpio, and it's sitting with all of that lot in what's called Cassimi. Now, it's also known as combust. Yes,
Sue, can you put us something up on the screen so we can follow it visually, what you're saying? Is that possible?
I haven't prepared the chart.
Can you take us through it to show it up now? Would that be okay? Or some kind of
Make
reference?
if you make me a
Ah, yeah.
able to share screen, I will do a chart.
That would be amazing. And also that's going to show people how to look for it as well. So you are
Well,
now
it
playing.
is in the group that I've how to work out the moon phase because Sarah did that.
Yeah.
Right, there's my astrology. So I need to go up here and I will create a chart, add new data, and we'll do so do a Scorpio new moon. So today's date is the 20th of November 2025. I think it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon that it came through. This will do. It'll be near enough. And Great Britain and London. Right, now I'll go down and get it. This is my list of charts. This is my own personal Scorpio new moon. Open it up. Go on, open it up. There we go. Right. So this is approximation. I've done it too short. It's so the moon still needs to go along. So what I'll do is change the time because I didn't research this. I'll move it along a couple of hours to 5 o'clock. Right. Nope, it's going the other way. Right, it's still not far, it's still not right. So we got to go back even more. So let's go back to 6 a.m. And I'm watching the moon. There we go. See how the moon is now 27 degrees. The sun is 28 degrees. A true new moon will be the same degree. So you're matching it up with the sun because it's a slower moving planet. So the moon will catch up and go 28 degrees. And there's Mercury, 28 degrees. And when we look at the minutes, that's 30 minutes. That's 10 minutes. So we have 20 minutes separation, and Mercury heading closer to the sun, and the moon is there. And the sun is the strongest and the brightest object in this group. So the sun obliterates Mercury, combusts. It's also that 17 minutes or less is called Cassini, and it's a very powerful sun. And Scorpio represents that switch hidden. And we also have a Scorpio ascendant. So with this little lot here, and Uranus is opposite, the planet of rebellion, the planet of sudden change. This makes for interesting. I found it fascinating that American politicians agreed to release the Epstein files just before this new moon, because Mercury in Scorpio is about that which is hidden. So also we need to find out where Pluto is. Well, Pluto is at 1 degree. That's a sextile. That is favorably aspecting, and Pluto is all about that which is hidden. And Uranus over here, it came out of the blue. In a nutshell, I think the House of Representatives, or whatever it was, I'm not familiar with American politics, but the powers that be, I think they were pressured and thought we got to do it. So the fallout from this is going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. And if you have anything at these degrees of late degrees of fixed, which would be Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, if you have anything at the end degrees or the very beginning of mutables, this little lot is going to affect you. It's interesting though, with this little group here, there could be sudden outbursts, sudden changes, lies and deceit will be discovered, and the Epstein files release. Whether they get read or not remains to be seen. And when they get released remains to be seen. But it's fascinating that with this little cluster at the back end of Scorpio, because when Mercury goes direct, it will leave Scorpio for another year until it comes back. But Uranus will be sitting here for a little wee while yet, and that's retrograde as well. Retrograde is going back, it's backwards motion, which is more of an internalizing energy rather than externalizing. So whatever happens with this little lot here, all these blue lines says that it's going to have a more positive long term. And we've got Saturn and Neptune, they're still retrograde. But on Monday, Saturn goes direct. For the last time, anybody who is Pisces, anyone who is mutable, which is Saggy, Gemini, or Virgo, these two little guys, big guys, they're going to bugger off out of Pisces. Neptune won't be seen in Pisces for 140 years, something 145 years, which we won't live long enough. And Saturn won't be back in our sign or squared. It won't be back in this position for another 30 years. These two come together in February next year, and then Saturn will move off. So that's going, I can't wait for Saturn to go direct, because my moon is not far off that. And I'm really sick and tired of Saturn sitting on my moon, which is depression, feeling low, Johnny no mates, sense of isolation. It's when Saturn is near your moon, it's about an inward journey and finding your inner strength. So with this little lot here, I'm sitting back with the popcorn and I'm watching. I am not attaching to any political things that are going on, whether it be Russia. Russia's posturing at the moment. If you watch the news, Russia's sending drones. We've got a spy ship out in the Baltic or something. And I'm thinking, okay, that's interesting. and whatever's going on in Gaza with the rebuilding and the American government and all the rest, I am not attaching to anything. I'm watching it like I'm watching a screen without an emotional attachment to any of it. Because Scorpio tells me here that which is done in the dark always comes out in the light. So get the popcorn out and observe. Be an observer of what's going on, because this too shall pass. And the only way we find out the crooked, the underhanded, is when it's exposed. Are we at all in the slightest shocked? No. Politicians, anyone who wants to help society, does not become a politician. It's all about power, money, and power. And Scorpio, yeah, with Mercury there, it's going to be interesting. Yes, Althea.
Hey, you said how it relates to you and the fixed signs. How do we relate this cluster? How do we relate this cluster to
Okay.
us?
Wherever you have things in an opposition, which is opposite. So this is end of Scorpio, early Saggy. So if we're looking at this join here, you're looking at a cross. So late Taurus, early Gemini will be affected by this. Then you go 90-degree angles over here to end of Aquarius, early Pisces. That can be affected by square. Then we come over here, end of Leo, early Virgo will be affected in a more negative aspect, i.e., square or opposition. If you have something here directly at the end, if you have something personally here, then it's going to affect you in a more upfront personal way, because it's conjunction, it's sitting on top of. So anyone who's born at the end of Scorpio or end of Taurus or end of Aquarius or end of Leo is going to be affected by this. Their sun will be in that position. So when you know your chart, you know whether you've got something late fixed or early mutable. And this will hit you by opposition or square. If you have something late water, then it's a trine because it's the same element. Hi, Ariana. So that's how we work out. And this is why I can't stress enough, know your chart. I have a 3 degrees Pisces sun. Is there anything at 3 degrees? No. The latest in Pisces on mine is 23 degrees of Pisces over here. So my moon sits here. So I'm affected by this in a trine. That's nice. Trine is nice. So it'll be a positive effect on me. So that's why I can't stress enough, know your chart, know your chart, know your chart.
So you're looking for the same degrees in the positions you mentioned in your own chart, the same degrees.
Yeah. It's like, where's Uranus right now? Oh, it's 29 degrees of Taurus. Well, my north node is right there. So it is sitting on my north node. My south node is over here. So this lot is sitting on my south node. So it's when you know your chart and you know what the signs, the planets mean, then you relate to Uranus is on my north node. What does Uranus represent? It represents rebellion. It represents sudden dramatic change. What does north node? North node is about your karmic point. So that I always say, go back to your chart, go back to your chart, go back to your chart, know your chart. So that's why it's always good to have your own chart printed out or something beside you so you can then look at it.
So you're looking at the same degree of what's going on, and you're looking for the special positions, the opposite, the 90
The,
degrees, the trine.
yep, see these red lines? That's Pluto
Hmm.
opposite Jupiter. That is
Hmm.
this little stellium opposite Uranus. A red line is a energies that are more conflicting. Blue lines are energies that are they're more harmonious. The big triangle in the middle, that same element, it's water. These ones, that's 2 signs away, that's a sextile. So when you know your chart and you understand what the blue lines mean, and the blue lines and the red lines, what they mean, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know that a trine between this lot and that, oh, that's going to be nice because that's in water, same element. We got Jupiter. Jupiter expands. Oh, okay. So it's going to expand what this is all about. So we got these guys that are not very easy to deal with, but oh, they're in blue lines. So this is going to be easier for me to deal with. So this is a snapshot in the sky. It's a little bit short of the new moon. I probably need to push it along half an hour, but it will still give you a snapshot. So the overall pervading energy of this new moon is Scorpio, because we've got Venus in Scorpio. We've also got a Scorpio ascendant. So it's not just the Epstein files. What else is going to be revealed that's been hidden? Because Scorpio is about exposure of lies. What's the biggest lesson for Scorpios? Trust. And so we're looking at what's going on in the sky, and then applying it to how does this pattern on these in the sky here, where does that fit in my chart? So I know, Althea, you've got an ascendant that's here. So the MC of this chart hits your ascendant. That's my memory of your chart, because you got a
So,
late
so
ascendant.
can you just explain? So the MC in the world view is in Leo's. Is that how I read it? And then I look at where's my ascendant in my chart. I'm a bit confused, Sue. I'm trying to
Okay, you've got to
understand.
visualize your chart.
Yep.
Okay, this is the top of your chart. This is the descendant of your chart. So this here, this axis here, is this axis on yours. This axis here is your axis here on yours. It's a wheel
So
that turns.
so I overlay the whatever Leo over my Leo and have a look at what's going on. Is that right?
Other way around, what you do is that you put basically you turn your chart until it fits, because it's a wheel that turns, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So your ascendant, so this is the ascendant, is here. Because if you know your chart, you'll know that. So then you turn it around and it's like, okay, and your top of your chart is there. Does that make sense?
So you get this chart, and then I put my chart over it, and I move it around till it matches.
No, you just overlay it. And
Oh,
if you know your chart, you know that your ascendant sits here.
my ascendant,
My
my eight.
ascendant, your rising sign, which is this
Got it. Got it. I
ascendant,
can see. I can
yep,
see. Yeah.
sits there. My ascendant sits here. My MC sits here. So
Got
when
it.
you know your chart, you know what's affecting. And this is why I can't stress strong enough, know your chart. Because
So
in my mind, I can put my chart over this and immediately know, oh, far out, man, that's going to be hitting me. Or, oh, wow, thank God that's not hitting me. And it's
so
confusing, but everything always turns because of time.
mm. So I've got on my ascendant, I've got Jupiter.
No,
So how?
no,
No.
oh, yes, natally you have Jupiter here. So your Jupiter is the end of fixed. So your Jupiter is square this lot here, because your Jupiter is about 27 degrees. I think your ascendant is about
20,
26.
29. Very,
Yeah,
very close.
yeah. So
So how?
your Jupiter squares this, and it's Jupiter. It's no great drama. If that was Saturn or if that was Pluto, I'd be like, But Jupiter is not a big thing to worry about
Why is it not a big thing to worry about?
because it's
It's
known as
map.
it's a benefic. Jupiter is where you gain. Jupiter is your gift. Jupiter is where you expand. Saturn is where you're put in a straitjacket. Saturn is where you're isolated. Neptune is where you're driven crazy by illusion, fantasy. Jupiter, Uranus is where you rebel. But yeah, so know your planets. All the information's in the group and the group WhatsApp. I've written it all out. Know your keywords. The great benefic. This benefits you. This one and this one, Pluto and Saturn, are known as the great malefic. This one will make you work bloody hard, might isolate you, but you'll get rewards. Pluto will make you dig deep into your subconscious, your unconscious, and that's where you go and get your therapy. So when you're looking at this chart in the sky and how it affects you, when you know your chart, you can mentally or physically put your chart on top of this and go, I best keep my mouth firmly shut for the next 48 hours because I've got blah, blah, blah hitting my blah, blah, blah. Or I need to have a duvet day because I'm going to kill someone if I go out.
Fantastic. So Sue, we've got Oriana and Sarah
Yep,
on the call. If you want to go ahead and do your
indeed. Does anyone have any questions about the new moon chart for today before I take it off screen? Nope. Okay. Rightio. Nope. Right, Ariana, I'll go up and find yours. There we go. No, where the hell's it gone? Go. There we go.
So, Sue, can you
Yeah.
show? I missed the part where you were introducing the idea of the new moon. So, if I look at my planets in Cancer, how am I doing that overlay?
Okay. What you've got is we know after we saw it, the ascendant is down here. Okay. Where are yours? Where are your planets? Tell me.
They're mostly sitting in Cancer and Leo.
Okay. So what color is that? What I'm pointing at?
Blue, beneficent.
What does that mean? What does blue represent?
That it's beneficent.
Water.
Water. Oh, okay. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
so what's this one?
Also water.
And what's this one?
Water. So
Okay, so what does that mean? Same element.
yes.
Okay, so that means trine. That means the energy flows. So where'd it go? Go away. So when we look at all of your stuff here, it's in water, and we know by the previous chart that we've just looked at, all of the water stuff is here. So you've got trines. So this new moon will trine your Uranus and your Sun and your Mars. So the new moon today, if anything, will be a positive reinforcement for you.
Right.
So it's not something that is going to best stay in bed, Oriana, keep mouth shut, have a hot cup of tea. It will work positively with you because it's the same element.
Okay.
Okay. So when we're looking at your chart, which is you're a Venus rulership because you've got a Libra ascendant, you've got your Venus is in Cancer. Now, the problem with a stellium like yours is that it's very, very difficult to be objective for yourself because there's no oppositions. There's no planets down here in Capricorn, and there's nothing over here in Aries. So it's hard for you to be objective with self. You need reflections and you need projections from an other to help you with your journey, because that's an awful lot. Your saving grace is your Mars is over here in Leo, so is your Jupiter. Your Pluto's in Leo. Saturn over here with the trines there. So you would be best off being with or around Capricorns, because they will help you pull the threads of all of this lot out. Or use this to your advantage, the Cancerian energy, and be a caterer or an interior designer or something to do with the home and mothering, because your moon is in rulership. So I'm looking at this, and the moon is in rulership. Your Mars that's a strong Mars. Pluto's strong. But yeah, your Venus, nurturing via the mothering instinct of some description. So you could, by utilizing the energy of Cancer. Cancers are feeders, nurturers, they and that water would make you very emotional. The biggest issue here is you may take things far, far too personally. But that's a strong Pluto in Leo, and there's Saturn down here in Scorpio. Money may have been a source of a bit of an issue with you, but you're a hard worker. But all of this Cancer stuff is quite difficult.
Okay, so I understand and then I stop understanding. So
when do you hold on before we go? When do you stop understanding?
Probably about a third of the way into the explanation.
Then
because
stop
it's all
me.
very clear. Okay.
Then stop me, because I don't know when you've lost, because bite-sized pizzas is how we do this. So what do you need me to slow down with?
So how do I know? So you said my ascendant is down.
It's there.
And how do I know that?
Because it says it, because I've cast your chart using the computer that does it. This is your time of birth. So without your time of birth, you'll get this chart, but no ascendant. So you won't have this major cross. So when I get your time of birth, that's how you get your ascendant. Because this is the horizon. That's above the horizon. This is below the horizon, and Earth is in the middle. And this constantly turns in an anti-clockwise direction.
Yeah, I think that's part of what confuses me, because I can't easily get my head around that. So if I'm doing this overlay on the new moon, Cancer was down.
Don't worry about where Cancer was there in the original chart. This is your birth chart.
Yes.
The chart I just did is the same as this.
Okay.
So if we take your chart and then we remember that the stellium was here, all the Scorpio stuff is here in your chart, it's your second chart. So the area of your life that will be affected by the new moon is your money, your belongings, because your second house is what I own. It's Taurus's house. But a new moon is very, very fleeting. It literally lasts 24 hours.
Right.
So the new moon would affect your second house stuff and your 10th house. So it could be that you get a pay rise because 10th house is your career, second house is your money, or you may get a big bill in that you got to pay. Depends which way it goes. Or you may buy something. You may see a lovely painting and buy it, because second house is your income, is what you own, your ownership, and this is your work, your career.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That does make sense, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions you'd like to ask?
I think I have to mull that for a while, so
Go.
thank you for.
That's okay. Go and percolate it and drop me a, WhatsApp text if there's anything. But always take your chart. When you know your chart, then you can start putting stuff over it and go, oh, the new moon's in here. Right. What does it hit? Same sign, so that's a trine, or same quality, so it's going to hit this lot here, so it's hitting your moon, your Uranus, and your Mars. So with the Mars, just be careful, keep your, because Mars can be anger, or
Okay.
Mars can be, irritation. Right.
Right. All right, super, thank you.
You're welcome. Right. I will go and Sarah, unmute yourself, my lovely. Sarah, what would you like to know about your chart? Unmute yourself, my lovely, so that we can chat. There we go.
Go ahead. There we are. It's worked this time. It's, as you know, I'm a bit, well, I'm an elementary, so I'm starting from scratch. So my chart,
That's your chart.
Yes, I know, but I suppose I want to know the basics, Sue.
Okay. Then what you're looking at is, like Althea, you have Jupiter on your ascendant. Hers is Leo, yours is Libra. What I'd be looking at here is, what is your ascendant rulership? You've got Venus up in Leo in the 10th. Passionate. You like your family. Then your sun is with Mercury, and it's with Mars in Cancer in the 9th. So this tells me that you may enjoy learning higher things. You may wanted to get a degree. Whether you did or not, don't know. But it's Cancer on the 9th house. 9th house is about higher learning and long travel. You may want to travel, but Cancer is the opposite of travel. They're homebodies, so you may have a push me, pull you sort of thing there.
What, with my son?
No, with
No.
you. This is you.
Me.
This is you.
Right.
Yeah, this is within yourself. This has nothing to do with anybody else except you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Your moon is in Gemini. So you may find feeling quite difficult because you may want to analyze or overanalyze things because your moon is in Gemini. Gemini is difficult for the moon because Gemini is Mercury. Gemini is about things moving fast. So you might be a bit of a scatterbrain because the moon here you'll have too much going on. So in the end, you get nothing done because it's like, where do I start? So there can be a lack of grounding with bringing things into the now. You could be in overwhelm quite easily with Gemini. And so, and your Saturn in your 7th house, your relationship house, you may have an age gap relationship. You may find love later in life because Saturn in the 7th house can signify it. I had an age gap relationship with a man who was 17 years older than me. I have Saturn in the 8th house, but it's in Pisces. Your North Node here, your karmic point, is in Pisces in the 4th, which is your family, which means that what would be drawn to or where you should be heading in life is spiritual therapy, healing, basically, because you're coming from Virgo, which is your South Node. And I can see I'm losing you, aren't I?
Does my face give me away? Does it?
Yeah. But I'm also reading you. there's quite, compared to Oriana's, this is all over the shop, but that's better because you've got red lines here. So you've got projections, you've got oppositions, but Neptune in Scorpio opposite your moon here. Fantasy doesn't do you any favors, Sarah. It's about being in reality.
Right.
The Libra on the ascendant with your Venus up here, people pleasing doesn't help, and avoiding conflict because Libra doesn't like conflict. So they don't settle arguments and the resentment can build. And your Mars being in Cancer, every Mars in Cancer that I've met can have an explosive anger when they're pushed too far instead of dealing with it before it gets that far, because they don't want to cause a scene, they don't want to cause an argument, anything for a quiet life. And then they get pushed and pushed and when a Cancerian gets triggered, they can get quite angry. So that's an interesting chart and very different from Ariana's. Does anyone have any questions that they want to pose and ask about this chart in comparison? You haven't unmuted, Oriana. Just unmute and speak up, Althea.
The North Node, can you talk about that some more?
Okay, the North Node is a mathematical point that is created in relation to the sun and the moon. It's not an actual thing.
Ah.
It's Rahu and Ketu. It's used, it comes from Vedic astrology, but we use it in Western because it's considered a karmic point. My sun sits here. So I have a karmic link with Sarah because my sun sits here. If my Venus sit here, it could be a love interest. So when I look at North nodes, when they're used, they can, your South node is down here at the same point, so it'll be 4 degrees here. It's a karmic point in your chart. It's interesting, but it has to be within 1 degree. So it's not like a 10 degree on either side of the sun or the moon. It has to be literally 1 degree either side for it to actually have a bearing.
Okay, you're going to have to say that in idiot speak.
I
that
did.
Last part.
I just did. There's no other way that I can put it.
Okay. All right.
In a nutshell, my South Node is Scorpio. What's Scorpio? It's all about esoterics, crystals, that which is hidden. My North Node is in Taurus. What's Taurus about? It's about making money, having possessions. So the way I interpret my nodal axis is I work out of Scorpio, and I'm very, very familiar with Scorpionic things. I need to work towards being in love with money, my own money, and it's okay for me to have money. So Taurian things is what I need to work towards. There is no other way that I can put this in layman's speak. That is layman's speak.
Okay.
Your south node is your comfortable place. Your north node is where you need to travel to. So Sarah's south node is in Virgo. She needs to travel to Pisces, which is her healing journey, which is her spiritual awakening, which is her artistic, becoming an artist, a poet, finding the inner creativity, probably via her healing journey. But she's probably more comfortable back in her Virgo, which is detail and Virgo things. You might be a good cleaner, you might Virgo things organizer, but it's about coming into the creative healing aspect, even singing with Pisces. Althea, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, so Sarah's North Node is in Pisces.
Correct.
Is that right?
That's right.
It's in Pisces, so I don't worry about the houses. We're looking at this particular angle of things.
Yeah, both, because it's in her
Okay.
4th house, which is her house of family. The 4th is family. So it's comes from the 10th house. And if you're looking at a career for a Virgo, anything that's detail orientated. So it could be a cleaner, because Virgo is very good at health and hygiene. So it could be an accountant, anything where making lists, that's a Virgo thing. And they're very good at caring and coming into being less organized, I guess, and doing the inner work. So Virgo would be more external, cleaning houses, doing math, detail orientated, making lists, organizing. Coming down here is the internal, bringing out the internal inner healing journey, the internal artist or musician.
So my moon is sitting in the same place. Is that right? So my moon is at the beginning of Pisces,
Yep,
and her North Node is at the beginning of Pisces. So
correct.
how does that view?
So your emotional way of being, your moon, which is also your mothering. So your moon is your mothering. When I see a Gemini moon, that means that the mother, sorry, Sarah, but your mother may have come to you and been an analytical mother, or someone who lives in their head, and couldn't touch you with emotion and support that way. So what you're doing out there is your moon is here. Sarah is absolutely loving your nurturing and your mothering.
That's good. Is that true, Sarah?
Yes.
No pressure.
And my son is here. So what Sarah's getting from me is the upbeat, strong, yeah, get your identity sorted, kick some butt. So my sun is illuminating because my sun is 3 degrees. So Sarah's getting my sun and your moon, which could also be seen perhaps as a masculine and the feminine. Yours being the feminine, the moon, and mine, the sun. So she's getting structure from both of us, but in 2 very different ways. Yours is a nurturing feminine, and mine is a more, well, the astrology would be giving her more of a structure from analytical or tools. You're giving her more loving, nurturing. You're holding her in a different way.
So when we overlay to whether it's the things that's going on in the sky, whether it's with each other's relationships, our personalities, we overlay the same thing. Our
Mm-hmm.
energies are meeting.
Yes, yeah. And if, say, for example, my Pluto was here, oof, Sarah would find me very uncomfortable to be around because Pluto is transformative and very powerful. She'd shy away from me. Or if my Pluto was here affecting her moon, she wouldn't like being around me because Pluto is very powerful and it can make you feel uncomfortable. My stepdaughter has her Pluto is directly opposite my moon. It's never 33 years and it's never been a good relationship. So my brother's Saturn sits on top of my sun. Saturn is not nice. When you're looking at Saturn, the authority, so this could have been Sarah's father. He could have been quite an authoritarian because it's in Taurus. He could have been quite stubborn and unyielding. There could have been an age gap relationship with mum and dad because Saturn being in the 7th and mum is here. So rule of thumb, and even if you're adopted, this is still the adopted mother and the adoptive father. This is your authority figure, and this is how you were nurtured as a child. And this is your instinct, where you run to when you feel your instinct. This is your instinct. So Sarah's instincts may tell her to go into her head rather than into her heart and be grounded. We've all got benefits and we've all got difficulties in our charts. Um, we've all got lessons and we've all got really strong things that we come into this world and gifts to bring to humanity.
So how does the new moon at today, how do we relate that to Sarah right now?
The new moon is here because her Neptune is 28 degrees of Scorpio. So it could have been quite an interesting day today for Sarah. I'm not so like she could have been all over the place with timings because the moon on top of her Neptune could have made made it difficult for her to be grounded in reality because Neptune's involved,
What do
and
you
that's
think, Sarah? How do you feel, Sarah? Is it do you resonate with any of this?
Well, I do resonate with it. Yes.
so. I would
It's
say
scary.
take a deep breath. Don't, give yourself some space. Tomorrow is another day. The good thing
Yes.
with new moons, full moons is it's 24 hours. So when I see things hitting me, I'm like, okay, take it easy. This too shall pass. Moon phases are 24 hours. That's it. They're over. So that too will pass. And with Neptune there, it could have been quite a foggy day for you where you may have ran and stood still or been late for appointments, couldn't get out of the house because your head wasn't screwed on your shoulders properly. Your mind was elsewhere. So be kind to yourself and forgive yourself if that was the case. Tomorrow
Yeah.
is another day.
It's another day. Yes. Thank goodness.
Yeah. And it's like if you find yourself being hit by a transit and you recognize, oh, I'm feeling drained today, make your diary lighter, be kind, eat some nice food, have that ice cream if that's what you feel like. It's being kind to yourself instead of beating yourself up.
And what are the
It's
things that are particularly helpful for Sarah? And what can we see that's really great and helpful and encouraging things? Because there's always good and bad and ugly, isn't there, for everybody?
We have Jupiter going through Cancer. So you've had Jupiter go through all of this, and then it's going to go over your MC. So when Jupiter goes over your MC, this is the pinnacle of your life. This is your career as well. So you could get quite a bit of favorable news. Um, if you're working, you might get recognition because your MC is about recognition, public recognition, and then it's going to go over your Venus, and that's going to be lush. When Jupiter goes over your Venus, it's feel good. Nothing can take you down. It's like, yes, the world is a wonderful place. And that will happen. I'm not quite sure. Jupiter takes approximately, what is it? It's 12 years to go round. So you're looking at 2 years per sign. So at the moment, Jupiter's over here. So like the next year or so, you're going to have Jupiter come over your MC, and it's going to be more upbeat. And at the moment, Mars is also down here. We'll go over that and bugger off and get off your Neptune, which will be lovely. So when all of the Scorpio stuff move forward and move into Sagittarius, that will clear your Neptune. So if you've got some brain fog, because Neptune gives you brain fog, it's not your fault. When it's all off, your clarity should return. If you're naturally sort of scattered and all over the place, then that requires work. But if you've felt a bit brain foggy the last 24, 36 hours, it will move off and move when everything moves off your natal Neptune. So that's how I use transits. I look at what's in the sky. Is it hitting my chart? If so, where, as in the houses? And what? If it's hitting my moon, I know it's going to be my emotions. If it's hitting my Mars, it could be my energy and my determination. If it's hitting my Mercury, I might say something that I may live to regret, which is actually quite normal for me, but it'll just make matters worse. Having no frontal lobe makes things a bit difficult. So when you know what is hitting you and where, then you can mitigate or potentially mitigate.
Amazing.
But it's all in the learning. Everything is a lesson. And with Sarah, you've got Pluto down here because my ascendant is 6. So your IC is over here for me, but Pluto is going to go over that. And you're confused. I can see it on your face.
Yes, I'm just looking. I'm just trying to find it. IC's down at 6 o'clock. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Pluto in the sky is down here, and it's going to transform. It's Pluto has gone through your 3rd house, which has transformed your short journeys, your siblings, your communication, everything to do with your 3rd house. And then it goes over, and Pluto is going to enter your 4th house. And that's your family. That's your family of origin down here. And Pluto gets a bad rap because Pluto is shadow work. Pluto is deep transformative healing. And it's a long, slow process. So it's not like you've just been smacked across the face with a cold, wet fish. It's a slow process that can be actually very nurturing. It can be painful, but by God, it's worth it. Because you pop out the other side of a Pluto transit deeply, and I mean deeply transformed. I mean, who doesn't want to deal with their traumas and be trauma free, at least the big stuff that's been weighing us down and causing us an awful lot of pain? But that's Pluto's lessons. It's shadow work. And when Pluto comes, it's already within orb. You're going to be doing some deep family clearing and cleansing, Sarah. So you're with the right lady in Althea because her moon sits on your north node. So you found the right person to do this work with. So that is blatantly obvious to me. Oh, moon on north node, that's karmic. You guys were meant to come together because you need her moon that sits here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My biggest message to you, Sarah, is take a breath and stop.
Oh, Althea, that's just, yes.
Just stop. Come into yourself and breathe. I always say to friends and clients, if you're all up in your head and you can't make heads or tail of it, if you're out in public, find a toilet. Sit on the toilet and deep breathe because nobody will interrupt you if you're in a toilet. No one's going to come on and go, "Mom," or "Excuse me." If it's a little cubicle, so you're safe and you can deep breathe. You can do some inner dialogue. You can drop your energy, and you can give yourself space before you need to carry on.
It's funny you should say that, Sue, because that's what we were just talking about before we came on this call, wasn't it, Sarah? Actually,
Yes.
actually, it wasn't even me. You realized that in yourself that it what was it? It feels good or something, wasn't it? It's better. It's
Yeah.
better. You realized that yourself that breathing was the antidote to the stresses and things.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were talking all about breathing, Sarah. Sue, so
That's
that's
what I just, yes, it was. That's why I thought, oh my goodness.
Uh, life is not easy and life is not fair. And when we give up and let go of that and go, life is what it is for me. What are the lessons I need to learn? How can I approach this? And who do I need to help me to walk through these journeys? Because there are several people that you meet through your lifetime that will take you so far. They'll have that skill, and then you'll find someone else because life is a journey. And I've had several people that have come and gone through my life, but the one thing that's remained since I was 16 is my astrology. And it's not that I don't get out of bed if something's not right. I just acknowledge it and go, okay, if I'm feeling shitty, irritable, or I love the world, okay, what's going on? because we usually don't look at things when things are tickety-boo. It's only when we feel uncomfortable, sad, depressed, down, angry, can't do this anymore, that's when we reach out. And you found Althea, and looking at your North Node, it was karmic that you guys got together because you need her moon. It's simple.
I think it couldn't be more true, could it? Flip.
It's so fun and highlighting that. So that's what I feel. I mean, you know,
You're amazing. You're amazing, Althea. I'm sorry to cut you off, but you are amazing. You're wonderful at what you do. You're very different to the way I do it. But keep doing what you're doing, because you are fucking amazing. Excuse my language, but you are.
Oh,
And it's
thank you.
like, why don't we? We need to lift each other up. I know what I'm like, and Althea has put me in my place a couple of times, and it's like, yeah, but you have the softness that I lack. So I know I'm not right for Sarah to do the job that you're doing with her, which is why your moon's there and mine's not.
And the fact that Sarah found me, that you came into my world, that I'm seeing that that's your choice, obviously your choice, and you were
yeah.
drawn to me. So
Yeah.
it's amazing, isn't it? It's phenomenal. And I've never sort of got into astrology so much because it's so complex, but to see it so
Oh
clearly,
God, yeah. Yeah. It
to see
is
it so clearly,
complex.
it
Yeah.
is, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
wonderful for this guidance, Sue. And
That's okay.
we're
I
all
mean,
beginners pretty much here.
yeah,
Some
but
of
I
us,
was once. I
yeah.
was a beginner once. There are many, many aspects of astrology that I don't know. Electional, and Oriana touched on progressions. Get this down straight. Even I don't really understand 100% progressions. I have to go and chat to my mate Sue. I'm like, Sue, my progressed sun's in such and such, my progressed moon's in such and such. You go, oh yeah, blah 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 blah. Okay, because I'm like, this is what I know, and there's so many branches of astrology. But go back to the beginning, get to know your chart, get to know just work on one planet a month. 1 month, and in a year, you'll have it sorted.
Piece by piece, isn't it? Because when I hear when you decipher everything, it's the red lines, it's the blue lines, it's the opposites, it's the trine, it's the sextants, it's the planets, it's the houses, it's the constellation signs.
It's
Ah, that's
it's
just you.
geometry. It's
One.
geometry.
Mm.
It's geometry. It's triangles and squares. And it's like, that's why you've got fire is red, earth is green, air is yellow, water is blue. So when you can then
I just learned that today, so that went in there today for me.
so when
Blue is
and
water.
water has got the same qualities. They're all emotional. Water are on this planet to feel. Scorpio, that's fixed water. Air, yellow. What are air signs on this planet? They're on this planet to think. They're mental beings. Emotional, mental. Earth, what are earth people put on this planet for? They're physical. They're about food. They're about tangible. They're about things. And then you got fire. What's fire on here? That's about action and energy. So you can break everything down into keywords. So Capricorn earth energy is different to Taurus earth energy, which is different to Virgo earth energy, but it's all earth. And Scorpio emotion and feeling is different to Cancer emotion and feeling, which is different to Pisces. But we are all emotional beings. They are all action beings. These guys are all about building something. And these guys are all about learning, about information exchange. Do your keywords. Drop me a text if you need anything specific other than progressions, Ariana. Don't even go there for that yet, darling. Because I can't explain that one because I'm not 100% au fait with that. It's complex.
It's
I
complex.
can't deny it's complex, but do
It
it
is.
bite size.
But
And
it's lovely. It's lovely to hear this structure. So learn your own thing first, and maybe
yeah.
one planet a one month or whatever. But when I hear you go through the explanation, I might miss a lot of it. But I'm trying to sort of tag along with it, and bits are sort of starting to set in place here and there. And as I hear you describe it, so it's really great to see the chart and hear you describe something.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, I've just clocked the colours. That just came in today.
So it's all about patterns, which my brain likes. It's about geometry, and that geometry gives you the relationship between father, son, daughter, mother, whatever. This is all about relationship, these lines. So if you think of it in terms of relationships, are they friends or foes? Are they best buds or do they grate on each other? Do they hate each other? Do they want to kill each other? Do you want to make love to each other? That's what these lines are all about. So relationships.
Wonderful. So that's been absolutely, it's gone really quick, I thought, today. And that's been absolutely wonderful to bring in charts. And we do have, we'll come to the top of the hour now, so we're going to finish in a moment. But of course, everybody, please don't let it stop in this 1 hour, simple little 1 hour class. I mean, class that Sue's available and helping you in the group. So do dip into the WhatsApp group, which is part of this course, and fire the questions away. Sue's just absolutely brilliant and so giving in the information, as you know, So do ask in the WhatsApp group. And there's 2 more classes before we finish the year cycle with Sue. But it doesn't have to stop there. You can get in contact with Sue to get your chart read privately or get help in the group. And hopefully this has sparked your interest in multiple ways. I know myself, the more I keep coming and looking at the group and having a look what's going on, what they were talking about now, and it makes me think about stuff and what do I think about it. And so do keep dipping into the group, everybody. So it's been absolutely terrific as always, so informative and so enlightening. And thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Rose.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
everybody.
I did one. Just sorry,
Please,
Alcia.
please.
I didn't get around to doing Tori's chart. So for the next 2, we'll do the same thing unless something specific comes up. We'll put people's charts up and have a look. And I'll get on to Tori's chart.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Sorry.
Wonderful. And how would please and how would you like to leave everybody into the evening? So how would you like to a thought or a focus or a
I would say don't get overwhelmed. Don't, because you look at a chart and you don't think you have to know everything because you won't. Even if you, Sarah, think, okay, what does my moon in the 9th house in Cancer mean? And spend time doing that. Do it bit by bit, because you're not going to be able to speak in the way I do, because I've been doing this since 16. It's about slowly catchy monkey, little bit by bit, and also be honest with the negative aspects, because everybody has negative things, negative manifestations, and we also have potential positives. We have the potential for both because we have to have balance.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sue. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. See you on the next one.
Thank
See you in
you,
the group.
Sue.
Doodles.
Really
Bye.
interesting. Thank you.